listening to SLPP Radio.
Good evening, wherever you are, and a very warm welcome back to the Sleepy Let's Play podcast. Thanks for coming. I hope that you had a marvelous day today. I'm your host, Tiny, and I'm so glad to have you here with me one more time. Now, before we begin, let's remember to take a moment to breathe and relax. Doesn't matter if you are in a bed, on a couch, a sleeping bag at a sleepover, or sitting in the most comfortable position you could find. Close those lovely eyes and take in a deep breath for 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Feel free to do this a few more times as you relax into your spot. Try to see if you can feel any tension that you might be holding in your body, and let it go as you pull up the covers around you to get even more cozy and warm. I'll give you a moment. Are you ready? Let's begin. This is a casual, calm, and quiet podcast session where I will play some games for you. No stress to complete everything or to be perfect. Just softly listen to a new or old gaming experience. I will try my best to describe characters, environments, and situations to you, as well as read out any dialogue or text that happens to appear on screen. And hopefully, my rambling will lull you to sleep. Now, let's play. Okay, we are back. And again, same as always, black background with the white text asking us to continue from chapter 1. Continue from chapter 1 is in the very center of the screen, and in the middle, down below it, we have the option yes, which is currently highlighted in yellow with our little red pixel heart to the left side of it, and just down below the yes option, we have no. So obviously, we're gonna click yes. And now we're at our save file select screen. The black background with our kind of neon-y green tones in the top left corner, maybe about a real measurement of 1.5 inches or so on my computer monitor. We have all in capitals, chapter 1 in that kind of bloxy pixelated text. Chapter is all in capitals. And right in the center, middle of everything, we have our 1, 2, 3 chapter selection options or save file options. The topmost one in that thin rectangular shaped container, it's literally a pixel, like I think a single pixel of green that is the border of this rectangle. Inside that, to our left top side, we have our name, and then down below that, on the bottom left side, we have where we are, and that says forest-entrance. And then to the left of both those options, actually sitting directly in between the two, we have our little red heart for where we have our current cursor selection. And to the far right side of this box, in the top right-hand corner, we have how long we've been playing for, and that currently says 6:06. If we go a box down, that's an empty save file, and one more box down, that's another empty save file, so 3 in total. And below that, outside of all these boxes, we have the copy, erase, and chapter select. So right below our option, or like a box menu on the left side, down below it, near the bottom of the screen, we have the word copy. On that left side, it's all in capitals. In the center, we have erase. And on the far right side, we have chapter select. So let's select forest entrance. And then that option becomes continue and back, continue on the left side, back on the right side, continue. Alrighty. Let's just absorb the music here for a moment. This Deltarune has some good vibes so far. Most of it kind of just like, little mysterious, little kind of whimsical, little relaxing. Good, I think, to kind of get you in like a mellow mood, except for when we're battling. All right, now if I recall what happened last time, we ended up in this field area with the magical teleportation door that took us to, I think, only one other place right now currently. Where did we just, I'm gonna just backtrack for a second here. Where did we come from? Okay, we finished the rest of the chessboard area, which is great. I think we had another battle last time. We lost Susie to Lancer. Susie is now on Lancer's team, or side. I'm sure that's not gonna come back and bite us in the butt, in the bootay. Alright, so I will start again with where we left off. A little description reminder here for you. The theme of this area is kind of more red and burgundy tones. The field pathway area that we are currently standing in the center of, we being Chris and Rouse. Chris looking like Chris. Chris is like lots of just blue tones, like a dark navy blue hair, a darker navy blue outline, the kind of teal flesh tone. Like it's blue, but it's teal. Can't see Chris's eyes underneath the hair, just shadow. No expression really on Chris's face. That kind of sort of capey scarf hanging off the side of Chris. Actually specifically kind of falling to the okay. Chris is looking at me right now. I have Chris facing like towards me, so it's actually falling off the right shoulder, but what I'm looking at right now is it falling off the left side of screen, but technically Chris's right shoulder, the silver shoulder plates and the chest plate armor, which is also silver boots and whatnot. We have Rouse, who's just to the right of us. Rouse's little green kind of witch hat with the horns, like a minty kind of color green. Rouse is like mostly like I guess dark black fur, or what are goats? What do goats have fur or hair, or is it... I'm gonna have to look that up. I never really thought about it too much. But yeah, Mouse has green little glasses, blue green little cape, the red scarf, looking very, Asriel like. Rouse say, definitely not an anagram or anything like that. No siree, Bob. Okay, back to the area. We're in the field. The grass around us is kind of like a dark maroony-ish color. Not too dark, but like a darker shade. It goes from left screen to right screen, coming towards the middle and getting bigger, unevenly bigger. It's kind of like you took two squares, one slightly larger, one smaller, and kind of like at the top part, the bottom part. Like the top part is more like the big square, and the bottom part is more like the little square, and they're kind of off-centered. If that makes sense. We are surrounded by the like red trees, those sort of again, that kind of like bendy shape where their bark is like a darkish bluey black kind of color, and they're outlined by these really nice like soft red tones, but there's some darker kind of red tones in the leaves and whatnot. We're completely surrounded by them on all sides of the field. The door, the magical popped up out of nowhere. There's a door frame, how are you standing door, is directly above us right now. We're in the center of screen. The door is just above us, closer towards the top of middle screen, maybe just hovering about like an inch from the top of screen. Not on the field. The doorway itself, the frame is that kind of gray color. The door itself is more like purpley and dark red, and underneath the door we have kind of wisping and floaty like flame animation indicating that the door is active, I guess. On the screen left side of the door we have the jigsaw piece man, bear, necked beard dude. I'm sorry, it's just, it has like dots underneath the chin area, and it looks kind of just like a really patchy beard. That's why. I'm terribly sorry. It's the like kind of teal puzzle piece, with the single hat, and kind of looks really tired. Is doing like a one hand is facing downwards, or one arm, I guess, and one is facing upwards. It looks like a puzzle piece with a face. The kind of tired, grumpy face. To the right side of the doorway, we have, was it Mr. Magnificent or something like that? The character that looked like it had eyes, but the eyes are actually in the nose, and it still see through the nose. It's kind of got like a bottom triangle piece, but if you took like a little circular piece out of the middle of the bottom of the triangle, for its body shape, mostly white and gray colors. It has kind of like a hedgehoggy style hair with like a bullet kind of shaped face, a very long, thin mouth that's a single pixel line of black, and then the two little black nose holes. And then we have the save file directly below us as well. I think that's pretty much it for this area. Let's go re-talk to these guys again, because I don't remember what we said last. So let's talk to Puzzle Man. The dialog box pops up at the bottom of the screen. Once again, the dialog box is a black rectangular shape bordered by a thicker white outline with a single pixel outline kind of in the interior of the border for a little bit of shading. It's like a gray color. Each corner has a slightly ornamental piece that kind of looks like wings coming into a shield or like a claw, and the center of those has like a little flashing single pixel that goes from white to blue. The text is the same white pixely text, and the character says, "Hey, kid, we managed to fix up this old thingamajig for you. It's some kind of door. It can take you anywhere you want in the world, as long as that's one of 2 locations. Anywho, we'll keep working on it. Anything to help you out, kid." That's fun, yeah. So, transporter door, 2 locations. I do remember that. Let's talk to the other character. Dialogue box pops up again at the bottom of the screen, and this character says, "Whoa there, horsey. Mr. Society and the puzzle guy fixed that door. Are you Mr. Society, or is the other character from before Mr. Society?" I don't know. I don't remember. Since it was just the 3 of us, it should work without any issues. Anyhow, haha, in brackets, hoping it helps you deal with the king. Awesome. Okay, so that says that. Okay, well, let's continue and move our characters, Rouse and Chris, to the right side of screen and move on. Rouse falling behind Chris. Ooh, is this new music? Huh. Give it a second. This is fun. Yep. As expected, ramping up. I bet you'll ramp up one more time soon. Hang on, let's see. I bet you 1, 2, 3, ramp up. Okay, no, it just looped again. Okay. That would have been pretty cool, alright? That would have been pretty cool. That would have been pretty cool. Okay. Sorry. So we have now continued forward. The pathway, which is maybe about like an inch long, or inch thick. The thinner kind of style pathway going from left screen to right screen. We're kind of in the center, maybe a little bit closer to the top of screen than the bottom of screen, but still center. It extends a little bit in towards the middle of the screen, then goes down a tiny bit, then extends back towards the right more, then goes back up a bit, and then continues outwards. It seems to be kind of making like a rectangular shape, avoiding a bush that is going around. So this is very, very similar to the last area. We have the pathway with the kind of dark burgundy-ish grass. We have the red trees that are clustered completely. They almost look like bricks, sort of. But here we have a few, 3 exactly, bushes. The bushes actually are kind of oval in shape. They look like maybe long pill shapes, but they're bushes, obviously, from the texture and shape. The highlighted part where I guess the light is hitting the top of the bushes is a bright red, and the shaded area is very similar in color to our pathway. There's one directly above us right now on the left side of screen, and then directly to the right side of that, it dips down a bit, which is where we have our pathway dip. There's a second one there, and they're fairly long as well. That they're maybe a couple inches long. And then to the far right of the screen, the top, we can see like a quarter of another bush sticking into the area. So let's continue forwards. Is there anything I can click here? Let me see, maybe this bush. Maybe. Because there's, okay, there. Yep, something just jumped out the bush. I knew it. I was gonna say, there must be something with this bush because there's a pathway going upwards directly from behind the bush, which we can't access. And something just jumped out of the bush. This something, one second, just move my chair. This something is called Rabic. R-A-B-B-I-C-K. Slithered in the way. And where it jumped out of made a hole in it, and now we're in the battle screen area part of the game. Woo, first battle. Let's do a brief description of what this looks like one more time. So, solid black background. The bottom fourth of the screen is kind of the dialogue box area, where we have the text in white that says Rabbit slithered in the way. The main fighting area of our screen, which is the larger, more like a square rectangular shape, so it doesn't actually extend to the left and right sides. When it touches the top of the screen where we have that kind of gridded pattern, that moving grid, actually if you stare at it for too long, it gets a little nauseating. It looks like there's a grid in the foreground, a very thin single pixel line indicating the grid itself, squares, all that jazz. That's like a pinky purple sort of kind of color. Then there's one behind it in the background that's slightly faded in like color and in shade and in transparency. That's the same size squares and whatnot. The foreground one is moving diagonal from the bottom right to the top left, and the one behind it is moving from the top left to the bottom right on a diagonal, so we have these kind of crossing lines. It's very cool. Our rabbit here, who is sitting on the right side of the battlefield area, center screen, or center of the battle area, because there's only one of them. It looks like okay. Imagine a triangle. Okay, hear me out. Now imagine that triangle was like more of a melted kind of piece of snow shape, so like a lumpy snow shape that's triangle-y adjacent. Then imagine on the top of this triangle, there's two oblong shapes for ears, bunny ears. And then there's a face on it. The face has two eyes. Closer to the top part of the triangle, they're just kind of black. How do you describe? Kind of like black closed eye, like puppy, tired eye sort of shapes. They're really hard to describe, but they're just like solid black. And then below it is a very wide, it almost takes up the entire center of mid area of the face, a wide mouth, open mouth. It's very poignant at like the ends where it kind of curves upwards, and in the bottom right corner of the mouth is kind of got like one of those little like drooly drips, like as if it's like salivating sort of. The overall color of this is white. The shadowed parts at the bottom, the tip of the ears, are like a lightish blue tone. The inside of the mouth area is a darker-ish blue tone, and the mouth area is outlined by a black thin pixel outline. And it's kind of doing this weird side-by-side up and animation. Like the ears are kind of bouncing up and down, but the body is kind of just moving side to side. The little salivating drip is kind of going up and down, and the eyes are moving left, right. It's it looks very pleased with up. It looks like a melting ice cream bunny thing without the cone part. Anyways, our heroes who are on the left side of screen, we have, in descending vertical order, Chris, who's actually, because Susie's not there, who's more centered to the screen now, or to the fight area. They're not in line with Rabbit, maybe a little bit above, but on our left side, standing there, their hair flowing in the wind, their cape flowing in the wind, holding the giant, kind of peachy, brown, orange toned sword that looks way too big for them to be holding. And then down below Chris, we have Rase, who's also majestically hair, fur, scarf, robe flowing in the wind, and both of them are on a 3/4 angle facing the rabbits, facing right of screen. And then just to the left of them we have the TP bar, which if you just imagine a long, actually, is there, now that I noticed, okay, I'm noticing now that there is a long, thin, solid black rectangle that then the sort of red part is inside of like a container, kind of like an old school thermometer. The red part is more, it's not a rectangular shape. It's like if you took a rectangle but then you cut the corners off the top and the bottom to make it pointed. And to the left of that we have TP 0%. I'm just gonna check to make sure this is recording properly. 1 second. Cool, we're good. Just had to double check. And then we have our Chris and Ralphie's stat attack item spare bars, essentially, which are now also kind of moved in format since Susie is no longer there with us. Chris is the first in line. To the left side of this area, the left kind of bottom part of the screen just above the dialogue box, Chris's main bar, once it's highlighted, extended upwards slightly into the battle zone. The thick-ish teal outline for the rectangular shape, and then inside the black background we have the small Chris sprite icon to the left of the square rectangle. Chris's name to the right of that, in capitals. To the right of that we have on the bottom, more half of the right side of this rectangle, the HP bar, which is also a solid teal rectangle in there, which is full right now. And then above that we have 90 out of 90. Below this whole rectangle is another rectangle down below where we have our options for fight, act, item spare, and defend. Those are smaller square buttons that are orange in their accented colors, the outline, and these icons for them, until we highlight over them in yellow. Obviously, when we highlight them, they turn yellow. And then to the side of that, we have Rouse's, which is the same as Chris's, but just all green, and Rouse's HP is 70 out of 70. So let's act on Rabbit. Okay, so I hit act, or I selected act, and that brings up Rabbit in the act bar below for the dialogue and option box area is Rabbit's name. On the left part of the top part of the dialogue box area, the little red pixel heart for what we have selected or hovered over right now. To the left side of that, and to the far right side of the dialogue box down below near that top part, we have the health bar, which is full. I'm going to select Rabbit since it's the only creature here right now. Once I select that, our options are going from top left, check, then top right, blow on, and then below that on the left side, just a little bit indented, more so than the check option. And with Rouse right next to it, indicating that this is a move to be done with Rouse, which would take up Rouse's turn, is Breathe All. I wonder, so I'm gonna see if I can one-shot this. If I use Blow On with Chris, then maybe I can immediately spare Rabbit right away. That could be nice. Let's try that. If not, we'll have a round of dodging bullets. So I'm gonna hit Blow On, and then Rousey's options come up. I'm going to go over to the spare option, which is just an X mark in the middle. It's the fourth most option inwards, so towards the right side, and select that and see if that brings up Rabbit again, and try that. Okay, press. So once I selected Rouse to spare, the dialog box changed at the bottom, and it says now, press bracket Z bracket repeatedly to blow air. Okay, and I'm pressing. Okay, that's fun. Okay, so don't do anything. Wait. So when I pressed Z repeatedly to blow air, the rabbit had a little animation that's really quite funny. It his body kind of smushed over to the right a little bit, and it got like elongated as if it was kind of like getting blown away, and it had like a large oval kind of like mouth shape, and it looked shocked. It was like, ooh. It like got taller as well. It was like, ooh, as if we were trying to blow it away, right? So that didn't work. The dialog box says Rousey spared Rabbit, but its name wasn't yellow all in capitals and yellow colored yellow, like I was hoping it to do. But I guess maybe the Breathe All option is a stronger blow, and it would have just blown itself away. We'll try that one next time. Let's dodge some bullets. It says do 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 do, and it's something Rousey. Wow. Come on, really? That wasn't okay. That wasn't hard. Yes. That dodgy bullet was not hard, but I seemed to have been able to mess it up and almost get hit every single time anyways. So the rabbit targeted Rousey, and essentially, the bullet dodge was a little white pixel rabbit that just kind of bounced up and down across the screen a few times, in sequential order, going from right to left. There was 1, 2, 3, 4 bunnies I think that came across, and I managed to get hit by I think all of them, so whoopee for me. Okay. Now the dialog box says Rabbit is looking for a couch to get stuck under. I'm gonna try doing Act this time, Rabbit, and Breathe All, and hopefully just gets blown away and we're done with that. Press C to repeatedly blow air. A sweet and fresh girl. Okay. So when we did the double breath, it didn't ideally do what I was hoping it for it to do, but what did happen is the air blew, I guess, off extra fluff or hair or something, because the rabbit turned really tiny and my. And it's just like a tiny little circle with 2 ears and a happy face now, and it's something about a soft and sweet girl or whatnot. I'm not quite sure. Rabbit ambiently damages the soil. I'm sorry, what is that sentence? anyways, it looks like we can spare rabbit now. The spare option is splashing. Oh, and that attack was a different kind of pixelated rabbit appeared at the top of the like fight box area, which is that white outlined rectangle that appears with the red heart in the center, and it just dropped carrots on us as it moved back and forth. So let's spare rabbit. So I click the spare option. Rabbit's name is now highlighted in yellow with a star shape beside it. And let's select that. Let's just do the same for, oh wait. Can I use magic? Oh, I can't heal prayer. I was gonna see if I could heal prayer myself, but I do not have enough TP to do that. So, so I'm just going to spare rabbit. Curse spared rabbit. You won. Got 0 EXP and 44 dark dollars. Nice. I'm going to go back to the previous area and save because I let Rousey lose too much health. Because I am bad at this, evidently. Okay, so now we should be healed, I believe. Saving heals you. Is it gonna pop out again? Okay, it did pop out again, but it didn't. Oh, do we have to... Is that gonna happen every time? Oh no, I went back to save, and I went back to the area, and the hole in the bush, I'm not sure if this is like a glitch or not, or on purpose, but the hole in the bush was gone, and so I went to go up to it again, and rabbit, like, popped out of the bush, and it disappeared for a second, so I was like, oh, okay, maybe it's just, just does that, and we'll be done with it. No, it found us to battle again. I'm gonna do better this time, so let's go to act immediately. On rabbit, breathe all, press Z, make it get that shocked face, a soft and clean boy. Ooh, this time, target is Rousey. Nice, and I didn't get hit at all, but I got lots of TP, and now we can spare. Ooh, that was so much easier and so much faster. Spare, please. And spare, please. Chris Spare Rabbit. You won, got 0 XP and 41 dark dollars. Whew. Okay, let's continue. Can I go up into the bush? Nope. Okay. Let's keep making our way to the right. Passing the third bush, and now we did the blackout fade into the new area. Hehehe. I wonder who's here. The new area. As we travel along the path is definitely higher center up on the screen. We do see a little bit more of the infinite black background, still surrounded mostly by those red trees, but definitely a thicker black outline around the pathway this time. In the center top part of the screen is another big red bush, and then forest beyond that. Below us is more forest that extends beyond that. And if I walk just past this bush, we have Lancer and Susie. Let's go! Our babies. Okay. Lancer and Susie are to the right side of the screen in a tiny large, not large but not small, somewhere in between a rectangular shaped patch of the field grass. It doesn't, and then the pathway doesn't extend to the right past that. It starts to head downwards, Beyond them, on the very far right side of the screen, we have a border of more trees. Up above them, just past the grass, is black border and then more trees. And our dialogue box appears at the bottom. Lancer and Susie weren't looking at us before, but then they had, as we got closer to them, the little exclamation point went above their heads with a little sound effect, and they turned to look at us, or well, Lancer turned to look at us. I think Susie was already facing us. And Rousey's sprite, Rousey's angry sprite, the more detailed kind of sprite is in the dialogue box. We can see Rousey's hat with the horns. Rousey's hat kind of not two-tone, but it's definitely like a brighter green with like darker green shadowing. The little tuft of black hair just kind of covering a little bit of the rim of the hat. Rousey's angry face. The glasses are still... The glasses I don't really think move around too much. They're in the center, perfect circles of the screen. Two tiny little white dots in the center of them for eyes. And tiny little angry eyebrows that are a pixel thin line that are aimed downwards in towards the nose area. Rousey's scarf can be seen as well. And, just generally looks unpleased. And Rousey says, Susie, Lancer. Susie's sprite now pops up with Susie's kind of more neutral, like, smirking face. Susie's hair appears as Susie's sprite is black and white. Here, where Rousey's is actually in color. I just realized that. Susie's definitely in color in the world. But yeah, Susie's sprite is black and white. Susie's sprite is mostly outlined by a thin white pixel line. Susie's hair is black and covering Susie's eyes, so we can't see Susie's eyes. Susie's kind of longer. Susie's face shape kind of reminds me of like a mango or a bean. Kind of. I think Susie's supposed to be a dinosaur? Question mark. I'll need to look into that as well. I might have mentioned this before and then just forgot, so I apologize. A little bit of that kind of smirk, the teeth showing through. Susie says, The Lancer sprite is also in color. As Lancer sprite pops up, Lancer having that kind of big, toothy, wide mouth grin with the tongue sticking out. Lancer's face is kind of a almost perfect teardrop shape. Can't really tell where Lancer's clothes and body meet. The most of Lancer is like a light blue color. In the middle of the teardrop shape is a black spade which faces the point tip up, and the bottom of the spade acting as Lancer's nose. We don't see Lancer's eyes. I think it's covering Lancer's face. There's like a white muzzle that's outlined in a thin black pixel. Actually, I can see an error. There's a small error in this pixel art where part of the muzzle area, the white area of the face that is outlined with the thin black line, there's a singular one pixel where it's blue instead of white. I don't know if that's done on purpose or if that's an error. Question mark TM. But yeah, Lancer kind of just reminds me of like a pug, essentially. And then the toothy grin, blue tongue sticking out. I might as well describe Lancer's body, because we might have forgotten what Lancer looked like, although if you forgot what Lancer looked like, I'd be tragically disappointed. Lancer's body is just sort of a round, dark gray shape with another blue spade in the middle facing the same direction, point up. Lancer's arms are kind of just noodly white tubes with blue blobs on the end. Same with Lancer's legs. He's kind of a short, stubby guy. Susie, is purple tones. Susie's skin kind of like more like a lighter purple pink. Susie's hair, that kind of dark moony purple color. Susie has like a black, I'm gonna assume leather, because, I mean, Susie's cool. Susie's got style. Susie's got spikes. Literally, these bands of, there's 2 bands on either arm of, like, leather, bracelets, I guess, with gold spikes on them, and then these kind of thick boots with the gold trim on the bottom, or yellow trim on the bottom. Susie just kind of looks badass. Like, I'm sorry. Anyways, Lancer says, well, if it isn't the so-called heroes. Susie says, are you finally ready to see what happens? And Lancer says now Lancer's face is just the toothy grin, not so much open mouth. And Lancer says, when you try to act soft. And now Susie says with this level 1 terrifying face where Susie's got a little bit of snarl and the sharp teeth. Against a team that crushes anyone in their way. Anyone in capitals. Oh boy. So that noise was Lancer turning towards us, like down screen, towards the screen, so we can see Lancer's face properly, because Lancer was facing towards the left side, looking at Chris and Ralph. But yeah, Lancer went, turned body, looked at us, doing a very sassy pose. Lancer's got one leg just kind of sticking out to the side, planted down nice and just like firm. The other leg a little bit shorter, so I'm assuming maybe it's bent. The bent leg is on the left side of the screen, and the straight pointed out leg is on facing the right side of the screen. Lancer's right arm, which is actually facing left side of the screen, is doing kind of like a palm up, elbow bent pose, and the other arm is kind of going downwards, kind of curved slightly. And Lancer says, Dark Jack Lancer. Is that... So, I'm assuming that Lancer might not be Lancer's full name. Is Lancer's name like Jack Lancer, or is that some sort of other inside joke? Also, Dark Jack Lancer is hysterical, because all I can think about is, Dark Yugi, which is just Yami Yugi, like, so Yami Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh!, which is the 3,000-year-old pharaoh that's living inside, Yugi's Millennium Puzzle, the incarnation, Yugi being the incarnation, I believe, of the pharaoh, Yami Yugi, Yami just meaning dark, I believe, so it's just Dark Yugi, so Lancer would just be Yami Jack Lancer. Sorry, got a little off topic there, but, Yu-Gi-Oh! You should watch Season 0. Kaiba has green hair. Check it out, you might be surprised. And Susie does the same with that, sound effect, turns around, faces us, both, just a neutral pose for Susie, both hands down by Susie's side, legs kind of just also neutral position. Susie's face, no longer level 1 terrifying, just regular default smirk. And Susie says, Violent axe, Susie. Susie loves axes. And you know what? Throwing's fun. Get that violence out, Susie, in a safe and controlled environment, please. And then they turn in towards each other. Susie's sprite at the bottom of the dialogue box now turns into level 2 scary Susie, where it's the horrifying, snarly, sharp tooth face with the glowing white eye popping out from behind Susie's hair. Susie says, "Together we are." The screen faded out to white. And then faded back in magical girl style. Woo! Susie pulls out the axe that we've seen used in battle. Susie's body turned towards the left side of screen, holding out the axe proudly and forwards in the center between Lancer and Susie. Knees bent, and we can see actually in the sprite in the world a little bit of a smile, because there's a couple I can see some teeth. Susie's axe is on fire, by the way. Yeah. So imagine just like an axe shape, the sharp kind of part of the axe, like that trim on the axe is like more like a greeny blue color, and then the top of the axe is just on fire. Susie's hair actually has a little flowing in the wind animation, which is kind of fun. Lancer goes back towards us, facing us, and has like a disco pose. So that same kind of leg, one leg bent, one leg sticking out. The arm that was facing upwards has now come into the chest, like a fist kind of, like inwards. And then the other hand is shooting straight up, and it's very disco-y, like, you know? Lancer's sprite in the dialogue box has turned into just a thin pixel-line smile with the tongue sticking out, and Lancer says, "The Dark Lancer Fan Club." Good job. Dark is all in capitals. I sense a theme of just adding dark to anything makes it like, you know, just add dark in front of it. But Dark Dr. Pepper, Dark Mouse, Dark Sweater. Like it just makes it all like, you know, it's that much more badass. Oh boy. Rose cuts them off, music stops. Rouse's sprite has changed into kind of like the one where it has the smiley eyes, where they're kind of like upside down frowns, but they look like a smile in the glasses. And then Rouse's, you can see a little bit of curved smileys up from the like lip area. And Rouse says, so what's your evil plan?" Both Susie and Lancer stop and turn towards Lancer. Their bravado, their smiles falter and fall. Susie's sprite in the dialogue box now changes to the kind of like the slightly worried sweat drop look, where we have a sweat drop on Susie's hair. Susie's mouth turns into like a tiny little like open mouth smile. It's like, hey. The glowing eye from behind Susie is the eye is still there, but now we have a black dot in the center of it, and then a L-shaped eyebrow, but like the L is like turned 90 degrees to the counterclockwise, 90 counterclockwise. And Susie says, "Huh?" Susie goes back to default neutral face, no smile, nothing else, and says, "Dude, we just formed our team." Just is all in caps. "We haven't done anything past our intro yet." Gosh. Lancer says, and Lancer's kind of got like it almost looks sad. I know it's a neutral face for Lancer, but like Lancer's mouth gets really tiny, and it's just a thin, straight pixel horizontal line with the tongue sticking out, and the tongue is also tinier as well. And Lancer says, "Well, a little patience, please." Rousey says, "Oh, sorry." Rousey's eyes are changed to slightly larger white pupils looking downwards, and we don't see an expression on Rousey's face. And now Rousey's face goes back to the smiley-eyed one with a little bit of a smile at the bottom of the mouth, and says, "We're looking forward to the rest." Susie's neutral face has a little bit of a smile, and Susie says, "Well, you won't have to look forward for long." Lancer says with a big toothy grin, "It's starting now. We're going to work ceaselessly," all in capitals. Susie says, "Unstoppably." Lancer says, "To make an evil plan to thrash you clowns." Thrash is also all in capitals. Susie turns away from everybody looking towards the right side of the screen and says, "Watch your backs." Rousey also turns. "And your fronts." I love them. Yeah, this is good for both of them. Them being friends, they're gonna bring out the best of each other. Lancer's gonna bring some good, cheerful kind of vibes to Susie. A friend for Susie, someone like that Susie can maybe relate to a little bit. Susie can provide something for Lancer. maybe give him some confidence. I know we already had a little bit of a Susie give Lancer confidence moment last episode. Ooh. But I feel like Susie can provide Lancer confidence, for sure. And they turn and run downwards out of screen. The overall screen actually shifted back over to center Chris and Rousey. Well, that was fun. Let's move onwards. Okay, so I'm gonna continue going right. Now we're in the same spot that Susie and Lancer were, and we're gonna head downwards. The downward path is a little thicker than the other path we were on, but not by much. Oh, never mind. It gets thinner as we walk downwards. Okay. As we walk downwards, the area doesn't move over to a new area. It there's no black screen to fade out to fade in. It just continues into the rest of the maps. We go down, and we are now presented with another T-shaped junction for our road, which splits off and goes to the left and to the right. The top part of our screen, the top left part, in the very corner, we have a little bit of forest. The top right part as well, we have a little bit of forest. And just below those two forest areas, there are bushes. It's a little lopsided where we are right now. To the right side of the screen, we can see one full bush just above our pathway, and then just peeking out of left screen a little bit more, a secondary bush kind of just peeking in. To the right side of screen, we have another bush that's just got the butt cut off of it. Now our pathway is in the center, and then below that there's another black area, but this area is about the same size as our pathway. Before it continues downwards to the last fourth of the screen, maybe a little bit thicker, two more pathways, so we can see there's another area down further below us that we can access, I think. But this strip kind of just below us has a bunch of little mushrooms in it. To the far right side, there's in the center a red and white spotted mushroom, and then the same goes for the far right side of the screen. And in between, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 little, they kind of look like dandelion puffs, possibly. And then there's 2 other little pieces of grass on the left side of the screen. I'm assuming that the way forward is going to be towards the right side. So I'm gonna head over to the left side to see what we got. Okay, so if I head over, oh no, another bunny. Oh no, another bunny. Another one of the rabbits popped out of the second bush and made a rabbit-shaped hole in the bush. It popped out and just ran down screen and off screen. So I'm hoping that it doesn't come back. This path does end though, and the far right of screen has like a border of those red trees. The path does extend downwards a little bit and connects with that bottom pathway part that we've seen. Makes almost kind of like an eye shape. So let's continue down, and there's nowhere to go from here, so I'm gonna go back to the right on the bottom part of the pathway. Oh, okay. So now that I've moved over far enough to the right, the path that we're on right now near the bottom seems to continue offwards to the right side of the screen, but there's also a Susie standing just to the far right side of the screen near the top of the path, standing in front of some sort of stump that looks like it's got a crack in it. Above us, on the path that we were on before, the path kind of goes around that bush I was talking about and starts to curve upwards again. So now the choice is, do I talk to Susie or do I go back and upwards? Let's go back and upwards and see what else there is before we talk to Susie. So I'm heading back to left, going up and then back right again, going past that bush I just talked about. Oh, Lancer's there too on the other side of the stump. And we're gonna go up. Oh, as I move upwards, revealed is another tiny patch of field with a, oh my gosh, Rubik's Roll. The Snaky Diamond Boy character that we fought before, the green snake diamond with the little dagger. Oh, I'm so mad that I can't remember the name. But there's just one sitting up there surrounded by 4, so let's do this. Oh, it's not attacking us. Well, so I guess I can talk to it. Let's talk to this guy. They say, don't mind me, I'm on break. Say, help me. I need to get something for my friend Clover's birthday. Clover is in all capital and yellow. Her only interests are sports, cute boys, and trees. Sports are in capitals and yellow. Cute boys are in capitals and yellow. And trees are in capitals and yellow. Her only interests are sports, cute boys, and trees. Okay. I feel like Clover likes sports, cute boys, and trees. This could possibly come up later. I'm gonna write these down just in case this comes in handy, and you never know. Maybe I'll just get her a card. Let's see. Maybe I could put some money in the card. No, I need that. Is there a third line of dialogue? Maybe I could put same dialogue. Okay, so character placed out of the way a little bit with some information is not to be unnoted, especially if we're talking about Toby here. So let's go back towards where Susie and Lancer are. They seem to be surrounding this stump and talking about it. Can I just pass by them? I can just pass by them if I choose to. I can just pass by them. I'm currently passing through and underneath them. Let's talk to Susie first. Rousey. Oh, the dialogue box has now appeared on the top of the screen since all of our characters are clustered kind of at the bottom half of the screen. And Rousey has like a neutral face. The dots of Rousey's eyes are longer, kind of rectangular shapes. A tiny bit of the smile in the corners of Rousey's mouth. And Rousey says, "How's the evil scheming doing?" Susie says, with the sweat drop kind of look, the worried, like, oops. Susie says, "Oh, that. We, got bored, so we're having a snack." Susie's face goes back to a more neutral state. We can't see Susie's eye, and it's just kind of like a smile. Or a smirk. Yeah. Rousey's face kind of does the pupils go back down to smaller squares. Rousey is looking a little bit downwards, and we can't see an expression on Rousey's face. Rousey says, "I see." Sorry. And Susie pipes back with a slightly irritated face. It's the two sweat drops. The eyeball appears from behind Susie's eye again, the more glowing type style one, no pupil in the center. A long, single pixelated line for the eyebrow jutting downwards to show that Susie is angry, and the kind of snarly, toothy grin without the sharp teeth on Susie's face. Susie says, "Come on. All I ate for breakfast was chalk." All is in capitals for some reason. And Lancer pipes in with a tiny smile on Lancer's face and says, "I didn't eat anything." Rousey says, with a slightly worried look on Rousey's face now, the glass is literally deformed to kind of give like a worried, indented sort of look. Rousey's pupils along rectangular shapes again. We can see a little bit of an expression on Rousey's face. "Sorry, what are you two having exactly?" Lancer's face turns into a toothy grin in the dialogue box, the larger sprite, and says, "Just a daily treasure I hid in the stump's orifice." Just a daily treasure I hid in this stump's orifice. Big words, Lancer. Rousey has the smiley-eyed look again and says, "And that is?" Not Rousey. Lancer's face turns into the open-mouthed, toothy grin with a tongue sticking out, and says, "Feast for yourself, my main man." My main man. Oh, feast for yourself, my main man. Is Rousey your main man? I thought Susie was your... And Rousey still has the smiley-eyed look on the sprite and says, "Yes, do you want to, try it?" In our dialogue box, we now have an option to select. The left side of the dialogue box has the text that says, "Make Rousey try it." The top center has the option to decline, and the right side has the option to try it. Our little red pixel heart is not really in the middle, but I can move it around to select now. Okay, we have make Rousey try it, I don't know if I want to do that to poor Ralsei. Who knows what's in the stump? It could be bugs. It could be Hakuna Matata bugs. Like from the Lion King, when they lift up the stump and there's a bunch of juicy bugs under there for them to eat. Decline might make them either like a little upset, or they also just might be like, suit yourself, more for us. Or try it. I get Chris to try it. Now, this is interesting because Chris has asked us, Chris, but does that mean that we're forcing Chris to try it, or is Chris trying it of his own accord? Or of their own accord? I'm curious. Let's try it. I don't want to make Ralsei try it. So let's just give it a go. I'm gonna try it in yellow, and as I move the little red heart over to it, and select that. In brackets, the dialog box says, there was a honey pot of salsa in the stump. You know what? Salsa's good. Honey pots are a good way to store things. Lancer, 10 out of 10. Good snack. You ate some salsa. It recovered something. Not HP. Just something. Susie has the neutral face on and says, hey, what's in this? And Lancer says, I don't know. Lancer, you could have fed them poison and they wouldn't have known. Susie turns to Lancer. Is that the entire conversation? I'm gonna try to click on Susie one more time. Susie's face is like the neutral state, but with like no expression. And Susie says, my power's lowered by my hunger right now. But once I eat something, you really shouldn't piss me off, man. And Ralsei chimes in with that worried look and says, it shouldn't have. Ralsei pipes in as well with the toothy grin. Silence, you sweet basket of eggs. You sweet basket of eggs. Yeah, Ralsei, you're a sweet basket of eggs. Hush. Our dark energy bends the rules of grammar. Yeah, egg boy. Egg boy. Egg boy. You know what? Soft boy, egg boy. Egg boy, soft boy. I dig it. Can we talk to Susie anymore? Nope, this is the same dialogue. Same dialogue. Blah blah. Egg boy. Can I click on the stump? I can. It's a stump with some kind of dinner hole in it. Yep, that's about right. And let's try talking to Lancer. Well, has everybody had enough? Susie says, constantly. Let's try to talk to Lancer one more time. Same dialogue. Cool. And let's continue onwards to the right. Oh dear. Huh. So, this new area seems to have a real time. There's some sort of contraption that I believe will hurt us here. So, give me 1 second. I'm gonna take a little sip of liquid to prepare myself for this long explanation. more of the same forest, where we have the grassy pathway before us, maybe about like a couple characters wide. It continues towards the right side of screen, but as we get maybe towards the middle, it divides up into a or turns into like a square shape. But at the center of this square shape is the like a hole or like a gap, like the continuous darkness. So the pathway kind of is like a square shape. It branches off to the top of screen right and right screen itself. But in the center of this smaller square black patch, where there is no field pathway, is, you remember the pondman? So this one looks more like an actual pond. It doesn't have the pillar-esque area to the bottom of it. In the center is a black pond. The circle part for the head and the kind of like pond-shaped body, like what you would imagine a pond looks like mostly. It's outlined in a thin, single pixel red line, which makes me think maybe it's not a friendly caricature. The shading on it's actually really pretty, which is funny because like the pond is black, so to indicate shadow, the actual pixel color is lighter, but it's kind of just like a really cool, almost Tron-esque effect, like a neon glow, dark blues and dark kind of teals. There is a slightly smaller, it's smaller than the head of the pawn, a circle, a red circle. It's not like a single pixel and it's not like huge. It's quite a bit smaller, enough to make a circle itself. So there's a circle in the circle, and the circle is traveling on a circular path. So it looks like the eyeball's kind of rotating. Like, imagine rolling your eyes, but slowly. From the red center extrudes or comes out this whip-like sort of thing. It's basically a bunch of white diamonds in a line that move around as it swings, so going in a circle. It's kind of like a sweeping motion. If you watched like one of those games like Wipeout, where they have like the kind of like sweeping game where you have to jump over things to avoid it, kind of like that. There's a little bit of follow through on either end of the tail, so it gives me the illusion that it's not like a solid mass, that it has some sort of flex to it. And then it's going around in a circle of counterclockwise. I believe we're gonna have to just we're gonna have to time this. This should be easy. As I move forward, and I got closer to it, the screen darkened a bit, like how it did before when we were kind of in these live action attack sort of situations. Everything darkened a little bit, except for the attacking character, the white, I guess like diamond-shaped bullet string. Our character, so Chris, has now a thin, singular pixel red outline around them, and our heart has appeared, a little pixel heart has appeared in the center of us, indicating that if we get hit by those white diamonds, we are going to take damage. The pathway that we're on now has is outlined with a bright light purple color. And yeah, that's it. Let's go upwards. I'm going to go now. I might get out of here more. Okay, I didn't make it all the way around to the top. So I'm gonna try one more time. It's a little bit fat. Oh right, We can run, right? Is the C button run? No, it's the X button. Oh, okay. I forgot that we could run. I was like, it's a little bit too fast for me to get around the whole thing. I forgot we can run with the X button. So, okay, now I'm in the thin middle part, where we're safe, before another one of these squares, these square, danger areas with the pawn and the swinging diamond whip are as well above us, so, I think this area is just gonna be a whole lot of this, so, let's see. Let's avoid this one as well and wait for it to come back around, and it passed us. Go, 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 go! Go, go, go! Okay. This one has, so the exit to this one has an exit to the right, so we went up a bit, and then back to the right a little bit. This pathway does not extend off to the left side, but it continues to go top of screen, so we're gonna go up now. And I'm out of everything went back to normal colors and we're no longer highlighted, so I think we're out of the danger zone. So I'm gonna head up, we fade to black, it's a new little area, and we are, surrounded by the forest one more time. So the pathway we're on extends upwards a little bit and towards the center of the screen and turns into a larger rectangular field space. All sides of the pathway are surrounded by a void, like the black void, and then just beyond that we're surrounded by more forest, so we can't really go anywhere from here. This is a dead end, but in the center top part of the field, so middle towards the top part of the field, there is a chest. There's also a couple characters here. One character, which is to the more on the right side of this rectangle, not far right, but just maybe right of where the pathway kind of is, and closer to the top, but not as far up as the chest, is a pink circle, not a perfect circle, kind of gumball shape adjacent. There seems to be 2 eyes, so yeah, it's a pink gumball-y type shape, thin pixel black line to outline it, 2 thin horizontal lines to indicate eyes. Those are looking down towards the bottom, like as if it has its head down and it's looking downwards. There's a little highlight on the top right side. Oh, it's also looking towards the right. And then there's 3 vertical single pixel lines that are blue on the left-hand side of the top of the ball, next to each other. Kind of looks like maybe distress or sweat marks, not quite sure. And then to the left side of the chest and the pathway area, there's a... What are you? Oh, you know what it looks like? What's that game, like Ball and Jacks, where you, there's a bunch of these peg sword type, these shapes on the ground that you're supposed to bounce the ball and pick up as many as you possibly can before the ball bounces again. So it looks like that. It's the head area is silver, or the whole body is silver, but the head area is a X shape with round balls on the end, so it's ball, and then the X shape kind of connecting them together. And in the center of this X shape, on either side of the middle, just outside of the actual shape of the head, are 2 oblong oval eyes, white and black. In the center middle part extending down from the X shape, it's like a thin silver neck that goes on for a while, and then it extends into a upside down V shape with more of those kind of circular balls at the end of it. I hope that was helpful. Let's let's move our characters and talk to the ball. The ball says ... and in brackets, I'm just a little ball. I don't want to discuss anything. Okay, and let's go try to talk to this other character here. This character does a little dancey animation, kind of like goes left, right, and says, "You folks look like heroes. Take the scarf from this chest and defeat the king." Scarf in capitals, defeat in capitals. Besides, it's old, ragged, and doesn't fit me anymore. That's what chests are for. It's kind of hand-me-down situation in there. I like it. Chest was also in capitals. Cool. Is there any more dialogue? I used to work at the castle until the king fired all the staff. Work king and staff in capitals. What was my job? Oh, I was the royal coat rack. That makes sense. I can see it. Royal coat rack was also all in capitals. Let's go check out this chest now. Okay. In brackets, the dialogue box is at the bottom of the screen again. Sorry, I forgot to mention. You open the treasure chest. Inside was Ragger. Ragger is highlighted yellow. You put Ragger in your weapons. Ragger in yellow, and weapons in yellow and caps. Cool. Ragger's here with us now. Let's see what Ragger's all about. I'm gonna go to our item menu. Item menu and go to equip. Oops. Hold on. Item menu, equip. Go over to Rouse. Let's see. We have red scarf right now. What does Ragger do? Ooh, Ragger gives Rouse +2 to attack. Yeah, I mean, we don't really attack, but why not? Sure. So, yeah. Yeah, alright, sounds good to me. Let's continue onwards. So we're going back down. Oh, and now we gotta dodge these guys again. I've gotten close enough that everything has darkened and dimmed down, and we're all highlighty colors again. And around once, and go, and down. Okay. Both the ones that we passed through these pawn guys with the diamond whippy thing are rotating counterclockwise at the exact same time and pace, and the same positions. Right, so let's go downwards around this other guy, and then to the right to continue onwards. And let's go. Go. Okay. We're out in the middle between two of these attacky pawn boy square areas. The one to my right side is actually just going normal clockwise, but they are still going like in tandem, like at the same speed and pace. So when the diamond's at the bottom on both sides, it's at the bottom, same at the top. So they kind of come together and pinch us in, so there's not a whole lot of space for us to move. Okay, so I'm going to go again. Up. Okay. The only option to go in this square was up. And there's one more pawn. Essentially, there's 4. I'm so sorry. My voice is going away. Bye. Yeah, my voice is slowly dying. Yeah, but sorry. There's 4 of these square areas with the pawn attacky boys in them. And these squares themselves form a square. The center part of it kind of forms like a T, like an upside down cross shape, sort of, with some of the forest in the middle, but also a lot of like the endless black, and then the gap on the right side of screen where there's no pathway is just, again, more forest, more blackness. So let's continue. Let's dodge this guy. Woo, we did it. Okay. All the colors went back to normal. We're no longer highlighted. It means we're safe. Let's continue to the right. Ooh, and it looks like we have a puzzle now. Give me one moment to check on my poor screaming boy. He may just want a treat. I will be right back. There's a cat in here now. Hi. Behave, please. Do not eat my keyboard or cables. That'd be nice. I'm gonna try to play with you in here. Okay? Okay? Are you gonna be good? Are you gonna be good? No, you're already not. No. Honey, I'm sorry. We're gonna have a big play session after this, okay? And some treats. Yeah? Okay. Let's try to continue. There is a chance my little boy is gonna jump up and lay across the keyboard and end everything. But that also might not happen. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Hi, I love you, honey. Okay. We are in a new exciting area. There's a puzzle here, as well as a Susie and a Lancer. Who look like they can't figure out the puzzle, and they're blocked by spikes. So we have, more... Ooh, don't do that. That's the microphone. Hi, honey. Okay. I'll be right back one more time. Give me a solid second here. You listen to the music and relax. One more time. Good. More pathway before us. Woo. Going from left side to right side. We have, on the leftmost side of the screen, us in the center of the pathway. On either side of the pathway is, it goes to blackness. On the top part, just above the top part of the pathway, though, however, before the pathway extends into a bigger rectangular area in the center, we have on the left side of this small part, the right side of this small part of the pathway, just before the main area, is a wooden sign, and then the rest of that area is just the red tree forest. Down below and along the whole bottom part of this area is more forest. In our long rectangular center part where the field opens up a little bit, on the top, more left side, it takes up maybe the left and then just past the center point and extends upwards towards the top of the screen. We have that kind of blue brick wall pattern again. It doesn't reach towards the top of the screen, it fades into blackness. But yes, that light blue, dark blue kind of brick pattern actually. The far background layer to this is kind of like a muted blue-gray, like a darker blue-gray. And then there's almost like in the middle of that, a kind of dark or navy-colored camel pattern. And then the frontmost layer to this is the brick pattern that has two slightly different colors, or slightly different shaded blues. On this wall, we have in the center top part of it, that sort of the puzzle similar to I think a few episodes back now, where there's 6 squares. The overall shape is rectangular. It's like one giant rectangle that's been divided into 6 portions. Each portion is even, therefore making squares. The center of the squares are the bottom 3 are all white. The top 3 are going from left to right. So the top left square is like mostly a cream color, but then it has a clover shape that is solid black. The center one is mostly like a light gray color, but then it has a red heart in the center, a red solid heart. And then the furthest to the right square is the same as the first, so that black clover. The bottom 3 are just solid white, and the division lines are solid black. At the very bottom, we have 3 buttons, and we know that they're buttons because they're shaped a little bit more button-like, but you have those kind of beveled corners. They got a little bit of embossment to them, so they're kind of like pushing outwards a bit. From the left side, we have a button, white background with a black solid spade in it. The center button, these are not attached to each other, they're spaced out evenly, is a red diamond with a white background. And then the furthest button to the right is a white background with an red arrow key that's pointing to the right, and a black arrow key that's pointing to the left. Beside this area, this little brick wall, on the top right part of our field area, we have Susie and Lancer. Susie standing to the the left, so closest to the brick wall, and Rouse standing to the right. They're both facing away from us, looking at what appears to be like a blueprint schematic, cart thing. It's like a scroll sort of looking situation here, placed on like a stand. The scroll, the middle part itself is like light baby. Well, it's like a light blue color, and then it has a bunch of like squiggly white lines. It definitely looks like a blueprint. I think it's supposed to insinuate some sort of blueprint. And then to the right of all of that, the pathway gets smaller again and extends off towards the right side, and we have 1, 2, 3 sets of spikes. The spikes are like in clusters of 4. Yeah, and that's what we got right now, and I think we have to help our goofy friends out. So let's read this sign. Enter the password. Note, due to everyone forgetting the password, it's written at the top. I'm assuming that Susie and Lancer didn't read the sign for instructions as they appear to be. Stop. Let's go talk to them before solving the puzzle. Let's talk to Susie. Susie, the dialogue box pops up at the bottom. Susie has like a neutral smiley face and says, "Then add a mustache over there." Lancer says with the thin pixel smiley grin, "Like this." Susie with a more grin now says, "Haha, yeah, that's perfect." Rouse pops in, which is a smiley face, a neutral smiley face, and says, "How's the scheming coming along, you two?" And Susie says, with the double sweat mark, angry face, grimace, kind of like, says, "Hey, don't look. Spoilers, dude." Look all in caps. Let's try talking to Lancer. Lancer, has like a wide kind of smiley sort of adjacent face and says, "Well, look who it is. The sweet little peas we love to see." Man, Lancer, you can't tell if you love us or hate us, and I really appreciate you for it. Susie says, "Hey, watch your language." Lancer says, and Lancer looks a little deflated, says, "Oh, sorry. Susie's trying to get me to swear more." Of course, that's what Susie's trying to do. It only makes sense. It could not make any other sense. Do we have any more dialogue from you guys? Nope, it's the same dialogue. Okay, let's solve this puzzle for... Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have Clover, Heart, Clover. At the bottom we have Spade and Diamond and the switcheroo button, so I'm gonna go Spade, Diamond, Spade, and switcheroo. Upon that, the spikes lower into the ground. Susie and Lancer, in shock, kind of jump and look towards the spikes, and then turn towards us. The dialogue box pops up again at the bottom of the screen with Susie's completely neutral face and goes ... "Thanks for doing the puzzle for us, losers." That's fair. Lancer says, "Thank you so much, losers. We were having trouble." So, we're the losers because we helped you, but you guys couldn't figure out a simple puzzle. I feel like we're both losers here. And Ralphie's got that, just kind of neutral look. Chris has that kind of neutral look. They're just looking towards the right side of the screen where our friends ran off to. Lancer's sprite just has a big toothy grin. Oh, they came back. They came back immediately, and turned towards their schematic plans. And Susie says, "We need this," and they take the blueprints away. Chris now looks towards us like, did you really? Did you see that? Did you really just see this? Tell me you saw this, please. I need someone else to see what I saw." Okay, let's move forward, or to the right. Another puzzle. Okay, there's another puzzle in this area with more spikes. Whoa. Oops. I didn't mean to. I was trying to look into the room a little bit more. And got bamboozled by another new character enemy. But I think I'm gonna leave this here. I know I didn't save. So I'm going to, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a little cheater here. I'm going to exit. Or I'm gonna, after I, defeat, spare this guy, we'll do the battle with this guy. I'm gonna exit and see where that saved me. And if it didn't save me where we left off, I'll just quickly go through the part that we did today, and then continue on from there for next time. So let's do this guy, and see how that goes. We have Bloxer assembled, coming in on screen right. This character looks like 3 separate pieces that maybe have been jumbled up. Mostly block shapes. The head part is mainly a red square. The left side of the screen where the box is kind of angled slightly upwards, and then the right side of the screen has has 2 little jagged pieces for, I guess, maybe hair. There's 2 red antennae that kind of go up, stick out of the head. The eyes, think Spider-Man. The eye area just looks like Spider-Man. Yeah. The middle part, which seems to be animating separately from the other parts, like the top and the bottom are just sliding back and forth, going more towards the right, the left side than the right, and the middle part is slightly ajar, going towards more of the right side than the left, so kind of like shifting in and out of place. The middle part actually looks like it should be the bottoms, like the shorts. It looks like blue shorts with a black, like, tied up belt. Just below that, then we have maybe what the chest is supposed to be. This looks like it's been mixed up, the order, disassembled, because it looks like a blue, tank top, where we can see a little bit of the red skin underneath, and then, thin little black, curves to resemble abs. Below that, we have 2 little red feet that kind of look like, song notes. And then, coming out with a punching fist, punching towards us, is a blue boxer glove and a thin pixel red line for the arm. Bloxer assembled. Now let's act. Bloxer, we have check and rearrange. Cool. So I'm gonna move our heart over to rearrange and select that. I'm hoping that once we rearrange Bloxer, we can spare them, so I'm gonna use Rouse to try and spare Bloxer. Press Z to choose. 1 head, 2 body, 3 legs. Head. Body. Legs, I think. Cool. So, what happened there was I had the option to, as the body parts kind of started shifting around in order, and we had like a little arrow key that I could hit C as it highlighted, which area was going to be pushed over next. So I went what I thought was the head, the chest, and the legs. And the character has now smiley eyes and it has little blushies. So the character seems to be happy now. And the bottom text says, Bloxer is pleased with its new self. Rousey spare Bloxer. We did it. You won. Got 0 EXP and 38 dark dollars. Nice. Whew. Cool. I'm going to leave this here because my voice is dying. And it is getting late on my end. So I'll see what happens with the game next time, and I will deal with that, and you won't have to even think about it. I'm gonna take care of it for us. didn't get a chance to describe this new area too much, so I'm hoping we can start off here. I'll take a mental note and a literal physical note as well as where we are. Thank you so much for joining me again. Wow, this was a bit of a long episode because there was no save. And that probably will continue to happen throughout the game. I'm hoping that, we'll have more save options around. But if we don't, that's okay too. This is just calm, casual. We're not 100%ing. We're not worrying about every little detail. This is just to calm down and relax and enjoy the magical world of Deltarune and our friends Chris and Rase and Susie and Lancer. I'm sure we're gonna find a whole bunch of new characters along the way to be excited about and to learn more about and to cry over for sure. So thank you again so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure playing Deltarune for you, and I hope you have the sweetest of dreams. Remember, I'm just a play button away. Toodles.